Hey, what is up guys? So I want to share something that's pretty cool. Now I do want to mention that yesterday we showed off a bunch of Zarc combos and it actually doesn't work with odd eyes, but here's a legit way to actually pull off Zarc. It's not a one card one. There is a one card one which I'll showcase later down the line, but this one is really unique. It's a vanilla pendulum deck that actually can bring out Zarc, which is pretty interesting. So it revolves around, of course, abusing Momo Rat. Pretty much every deck's abusing it next format, unless, of course, it's going to get banned. But basically, a bunch of vanilla pendulums can actually bring out Zarc. It's very, very conditional because it does require certain things, but nonetheless, it's pretty interesting because it is using a bunch of vanilla monsters, which in 2016 really no one's doing. So I thought this was more of a unique thing that you could actually mess around with. I'll also give you guys the deck profile, and I had a few other cheeky replays involving Zarc because that's the new topic that everyone wants to talk about. But anyways, he's gonna go ahead and poly and finally make a Zarc, but unfortunately, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon stopped him there. But really cool stuff to actually pull it off in like vanilla pendulums. I'll give you guys a deck profile in just a second, but I wanted to showcase some other replays using other ways to get out Zarc. So that's one way you can get out Zarc, because you know that's the goal of everyone's deck right now, is how can we get out Zarc as easily as possible. Like I mentioned before, guys, you cannot actually use Odd Eyes Fusion. I thought it just worked. I was like, well, I don't really bother sometimes to understand why things work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vayu would be an excellent example of, you know, you can't roll oppression Vayu, you can't do certain things to Vayu, you can't solemn warning Vayu. But anyways, nonetheless, you cannot use Odd Eyes Fusion, because that's pretty much how people are getting out. But it apparently is a glitch, even though it says like up to 2. I was like, oh, okay, you can just do up to whatever, go for it. But nonetheless, Dragon's Mirror can actually be a card. If you guys didn't know, you can actually use Monarchs to bring out Zarc. Which is a really easy way to bring it out. That is, if you can successfully get out Zaborg, destroy your extra deck, and then have Dragon's Mirror to follow. I don't know if it's a very viable way to actually pull it off, but nonetheless, it is another way to pull it off. Now, this one was actually pretty cheeky. Someone actually got over Zarc, which, in my opinion, is still very hard to do, because you'd think, oh, is it just Utopia? No, it's actually not Utopia. This guy's playing some Ancient Gears, and Ancient Gears have gotten a lot of support over the past couple of sets, and basically there are a deck that can definitely OTK. It can be relatively aggressive. Ancient Gear Fortress is a pretty good card, but comparing to what's coming out in the game, I don't know if Ancient Gears has what it takes to overcome certain decks coming out later down the line. But anyways, like I said, Zarc is the card that everyone wants to bust out. See a Zarc finally being made, getting rid of everything. He's able to go ahead and go for the Ancient Gear Wyvern and then search out another Ancient Gear card. He's going to take a bunch of damage to the face, and then watch this top deck. Wow, dude, what a sack. Dude, Power Bond getting over 8,800 points of damage. He just goes ahead and attacks, and he's going to go ahead and stop that. I think he should have just attacked into that, but nonetheless, pretty good stuff indeed. And he actually died because of Power Bond, so I thought that was really hilarious. But someone actually got over Zarc. That's pretty crazy. But I know I said I'd give you guys that vanilla deck profile, so if any of you guys want to mess around with it, feel free to go ahead and do so. But it's very low on monster count, but basically the idea is vanilla pendulums to try to abuse. A lot of the cards like, where is it? Draco Face Off, as well as the unexpected die, so it lets you, of course, bring out those vanilla monsters. But you guys saw the bread and butter combo. Basically, it's abusing Momo Rat and abusing just a lot of good support and like a lot of draw power in the game. But anyways, let's go and just go over the deck profile real quick. I think we can change this to make it a little bit better. You guys can help me out down below in the comment section below. But I think that this has a little bit of potential because Angel's Trumpeteer is still a pretty decent card. It's a 1900 plant and it's a tuner. But it is also vanilla, so that's what really makes it good in this. But anyways, pretty low monster count because these aren't really monsters at the end of the day. And one of these basically equals 3 of them because you know, you go through and cycle through them. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So 2 copies of Master Pendulum, 2 copies of Angel Trumpeteer, 2 copies of Vector, 1 copy of Luster because you can only play 1, and then we have Zephyros. We have 3 copies of Momorat, 2 copies of King of the Swamp, 3 Unexpected Dies, 2 Instant Fusions, 2 copies of Poly, which is more like 4 because you're playing King of the Swamp, 1 Day at Peace, 3 copies of Pot of Desires, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Upstart, triple Dark Will Dealing because the deck is a cheese deck to try to rush this card out. And then we got Foolish, because of course Zephyros, and then Draco Face Off, triple Elemental Triangle of the Zoodiac, aka you're playing 6 copies of Momorat, 3 copies of Tenki, and 3 copies of Pendulum Reborn, so you get to special summon a face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck, and you can really abuse some of the vanillas that you can get out relatively quick in this build. As far as the extra deck, this is what pretty much you're going to be needing. Obviously, you have to have the Zoodiacs. You can maybe add some other cards that can help you out in other scenarios. An excellent card would be Castell, and maybe a Gaga Cowboy to burn your opponent for game certain integers. But yeah, you're going to require, of course, Supreme King Dragon Zarc, Elder God Norden. We got Darkfire Dragon, of course, because it does require those dragons to actually bust them out. And then we got the Stardust lineup. Then we got Dark Rebellion. We got number 82, Zoodiac Tigress, Drancia, Wildbow, and Bullhorn. But really cool stuff. Thanks for all of you guys that sent in those replays, showcasing off, of course, the talk of the day right here. Or I guess the week, because pretty much everyone's just trying to figure out how to bring this card out, because it's a very, very powerful card. I mean, when it gets summoned, you get rid of everything. It's like a Judgment Dragon, but you don't have to pay. And it also protects itself pretty good, meaning that it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects or targeted. That's really, really strong. So it comes out, and it basically makes it game if your opponent doesn't get over it within the next turn. But usually, most decks just fold once it comes out, if they don't have an immediate follow-up. But anyways, thanks for all you guys sending those replays once again. And let me know how we can change this deck, because I feel like this could definitely be a thing, especially if we get some more vanilla support. Maybe we can drop certain cards to make it a little bit better. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.